It's another episode of Champion Mentality. Today we talked about NBA Finals. We're talking about just recapping the NBA playoffs here. Eastern Conference Finals, that game 4-game sweep of Boston Celtics over the Indiana Pacers. And then you have game 5. We'll just recap that, talking about stat facts with Minnesota Timberwolves and the Dallas Mavericks. Let's go to Boston Celtics and Indiana Pacers with the sweep. Got Jaylen Brown. We're going to just talk about stat facts here. We got Jaylen Brown played a lot of minutes, 44 minutes and 27 seconds. His field goal percentage was 50%. He made 4 3-pointers out of 8 attempts, and he was averaging 50%. And Jaylen Brown was averaging 50%. This is game 4, Boston versus Indiana Pacers. He made 3. Jaylen Brown made 3. There were 3 free throws from the charity strike with 6 attempts, and it was 50% in that game. He had 2 offensive rebounds, 4 defensive rebounds, in a total of 6, 2 assists in that game, and 3 steals, 1 block, 3 turnovers, and 3 personal fouls in that game. 29 points. His plus minus, meaning his production, it was a positive 6. I have to agree with a lot of people as we go on to this. Would this be a 4-game sweep if Tyrese Halliburton was healthy? No, I think it'd be like a 4-2 or somewhere around there, maybe 3. It might go 7, but it's out. But it wouldn't be a sweep if Tyrese Halliburton was healthy. So no doubt about it. And that's just respect to what he brings to his friend, to his team, to the Pacers, and to his teammates, and the different look that he gives the team when Tyrese is out there. So we move on to Jason Tatum. Played 43 minutes, almost 44 minutes. He was 42.3% from the field goal. He was 3 for 11 from 3-point line, which it was at 27%. Well, in this game, he was 1 for 1 from the free throw line from the charity strike with 100%. He had 3 offensive ribbies, 10 defensive ribbies. That's huge, right? Defensive rebounds are important because you take away extra possession, second and third chance shots from your opponent. So that is huge, being big on the glass like that. And for this game, he had a total of 13 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, 5 turnovers, 5 personal fouls, 26 points for this game. And he had a plus minus rating of positive 6. So getting good production out of him there. Sound good. Al Horford was 1 for 3. Al Horford was 1 for 3 in this final game versus the Indiana Pacers, the sweep game, and he averaged 33% from the 3-point line. He went 2 from 2 from the charity strike, so he was 100% on his free throws. He had 2 offensive rebounds, 6 defensive rebounds, 8 total, of course, 1 steal, no turnovers, 1 block, and he had 7 points. And his plus minus rating was 3, so it was good production when he was out there contributing to his team. Now, we talked about the plus minus analytics. There were 2 players that had negative, and that was Xavier Tillman. He was a -2, so production wasn't good for him when he was on the field. Good combination, or just wasn't getting it done according to expectation. And then Peyton Pritchard had in game 4. This is game 4. He had a -9. Okay. Derek White is another guard in this game 4 versus Indiana Pacers. His field goal percentage was 50%. He was 2 for 9 from the 3-point line. Okay. Which is only about 22%. No free throw attempts. Did not have any trips to the charity strike. There. 1 offensive rebound, 3 defensive rebounds, 4 for the game, 4 assists. That's very good. 5 steals, very good. And 3 blocks, no turnovers. Okay, 3 personal fouls and 16 points. And his plus minus was a positive 5, so he was very effective. Drew Holiday, 38 minutes. By the way, Derek White in Game 4 played about 42 minutes. Drew Holiday, excuse me, one moment. Drew Holiday played about 38 minutes. 53, almost 54% from the field goal range. For field goal, he was 2 for 9, only 2 made 3-pointers, so that made his percentage 22. 33 point 33%. He went 2 for 6 from the 3-point line. He only had 1 free throw, only 1 trip to the charity stripe, so he was 1 for 1 and 100% there. He had 1 offensive rebound and 8 defensive rebounds, and leads him with a total of 9. If you notice the theme in the stats, here are a higher number of defensive rebounds, which shows a key, one of those intangibles, those unseen factors in a game when you take away extra possessions from a team. So let's just pay attention to that pattern there. But I'm impressed. He had 2 assists, no steals, no blocks, 3 personal fouls in this game, and 17 points. And his plus minus rating was positive 2. Okay. Sam Hauser had 5 points. He was a positive 4. He went he only had 1 made 3-pointer out of 5 attempts. That brings him to 20%. And with 2 for 2, the free throw line, and which brought him to 100%. Okay. He only had 1 defensive rebound. Sam Hauser. Peyton Pritchard only had 1 made 3-pointer out of 2 attempts, brings him to 50%. He only played about 9 minutes. Sam Hauser played about 14 minutes. Peyton Pritchard with 2 for 2 from the charity stripe from the free throw line, brings him to 100%. He had no steals, no assists, 1 offensive rebound, and he was a -9 in the plus minus. Overall, if you don't, here's the tale of it. Is Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and your Drew Holiday. Those are your main 3 that have to be consistent to put Boston in position. They're scored in double digits almost consistently. And Derek White had double digits, so that was a bonus. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. So we have that 3 and that 4 being consistent. That's your bread and butter right there for Boston Celtics. Let's go to the Indiana Pacers and see in a double-digit club for the Indiana Pacers. You had Aaron Naismith. He had 14 points, but he was a -8 in production for the plus minus. He was a -8. Pascal Siakam, he had 19 points. He was a -9. He was a -9 in your plus minus. Miles Turner, did not score. That might have hurt. He did not get in double digits, and Miles only had 4 defensive rebounds. So that could have played a key there. Andrew Nembhard had 24 points, -1. Opie Toppin had 12 points. He was a +5 in production. TJ McConnell had 15, and he was a +1. Defensive rebounds wise, they did not add up as well as they did not add up as well as we'll go through it here real quick. They did not add up as well. Okay. As let's check the summary. Let's check the comparison here. There's my helpers, example with the other screen here. So they did not do as well. We're going to move on to the next game. Not going to hold you long. We'll move on to the next game. The next game was Dallas Mavericks, finishing off Minnesota Timberwolves. I mean, is it youth? What is it? I mean, let's talk about it. What is it? Youth? What is it? People tell me. That was Dallas Mavericks won that game 124 to 103. Who did you have? Did you have Dallas? Who did she have? I don't know. I'm gonna ask her. Who did you have? Dallas? She picked Dallas. That's Diamond. Diamond picked Dallas. Okay. And we're gonna start with the stat line here with Minnesota. Jaden McDaniels, when he was in the game, he had a minus 13. He only scored 8 points in that game. Cat, Carl Anthony Towns had 28 points, but he was a minus 14 in production. Rudy Gobert had a minus 23. He only scored 9. Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man, scored 28, and he was a minus 20. Conley scored 7 points. He was a minus 17. Kyle Anderson scored 13. Okay. Kyle Anderson, 7 points. It was a minus 13 in the plus minus analytics there. Alexander Walker did not score. He was minus 13. Nas Reed was a negative 14 and only scored 5. Wendell Moore got in the game, scored 5. He was a plus 4. Leonard Miller didn't score, but he was a plus 4. So all your bench players got a few minutes. They had positive production. You might want to look at balancing that out, or was it junk minutes? I don't know. Let's go to your Dallas Mavericks. Derrick Jones Jr. You don't like him? You got to wait. You got to finish the stats here. Derrick Jones Jr. played about 30 minutes. He scored 5 points, and he was a plus 11. P.J. Washington had 12 points. He was a plus 17. Daniel Gafford had 11 points, and he was a plus 26 in production. That's pretty awesome. Kyrie Irving, 36 points, positive 17. Luka Doncic, 36. Yeah. You don't like Luka either? Come on, Diamond. Luka scored 36 with a positive 22 production. Derek Lively scored 9 points. He was a negative 1 in production, plus minus analytics. Josh Green, okay, got 2 points. He was a plus 10. Jaden Hardy scored 7 points. He was a plus 4 in production, plus minus analytics. Max Kleber, 3 points and a plus 8. Dante Exum was a minus 1, did not score, and he played about 11.5 minutes. Dwight Powell got in for 3 minutes. AJ Lawson got in for 3 minutes. Dwight Powell was negative 4 in production. AJ Lawson negative 4. Tim Hardaway Jr. did not play. Markieff Morris did not play. Let's see who did well for the 3-point line. Luka Doncic was 60%. Luka Doncic was 60% for the 3-point line. He was 6 for 10. Kyrie Irving was 40%, 4 from 10 for the 3-point line. 40% was P.J. Washington, went 2 for 5 for the 3-point line. 50% only took 2 attempts with Derrick Jones Jr., 1 for 2. Let's see who was your highest with free throws. P.J. Washington was 100% with 2 for 2. Daniel Gafford had 83% with 5 for 6. Kyrie Irving with 4 for 4 from the free throw line, averaging 100%. Luka Doncic, 2 for 3, 66.7%. Derek Lively with 3 from 6, 50%. So we had you had PJ Washington and Kyrie Irving at 100%, and then Daniel Gafford was the center for at 83% in free throws. You had Luka Doncic, the only one in double digits, rebounding at 10 in 10 defensive rebounds. The only one. PJ Washington had 5 defensive rebounds, had a total of 7 rebounds. Daniel Gifford had a total of 9 rebounds. Derrick Jones Jr., 2 rebounds. Okay. Max Kleber, 1 rebound. Dante Exum, 2. Dwight Powell, 1. So I don't. All right, so when you look here at this, what everything Dallas did against Minnesota was defensive scheme, slowing down Ant-Man, forcing somebody else to score, and let's go look back at it. And I think you know you had 2 people in double digits, and they still couldn't win. Ant-Man and Cat, Ant-Man and Carl Anthony Towns in 2 digits, and everybody else was held to single digit scoring. So that plays a difference in there, and that shows where defense down the street, even a high scoring game, you still need defense to win. You're 124 to 103 or and things of that nature. So even in a high scoring game, you still have to stop, to get the win, right? Whoever has the highest score to win, but at the same time, you have to stop your opponent. So here we go. When it's a Thursday, we have Boston and Dallas. This is Boston. Either they do it now, or that team possibly gets dismantled. Right? That's what it looks like to me. Either they do it now, or you're gonna have to move some pieces around. Dallas is looking strong. They have a good combination. They got a good rotation going. So it could be awesome. So then we bring it to you just some facts about what took place in the Eastern Conference Final, in the Western Conference Final, and then now there's going to be a basketball chess match starting this Thursday night. Okay, so look forward to visiting you soon with some more recaps of some of these NBA final games that we're getting ready to start. NBA Championship, the last team standing. We shall know how this unfolds sooner than later. So until next time, be great in your preparation, become excellent in your performance. Champion mentality.